There is a profound symphony playing in the background of your life right now, and if you listen closely, you can hear its gentle but persistent melody. The signs that have been appearing around you, those moments that make you pause and wonder, those synchronicities that feel too meaningful to dismiss as mere chance, trust them completely. They are not random occurrences floating through your existence without purpose. They are divine confirmations, sacred whispers from the universe itself, telling you that something magnificent and transformative is already in motion. The cosmic forces that govern love, healing, and human connection are orchestrating a beautiful realignment behind the veil of the visible world. While you may not yet see all the pieces moving into place, while you may not fully understand the intricate web being woven around your heart's deepest longings, know that you are about to witness changes so profound they will reshape the very foundation of how love flows in your life. Something extraordinary is stirring in the depths of your person's soul. Like a seed that has been dormant through the harsh winter finally feeling the first warm touch of spring, their consciousness is awakening to a truth so powerful it cannot be ignored or pushed away any longer. They have arrived at a realization that cuts through all the noise, all the distractions, all the fears that once clouded their vision. This realization is simple yet earth-shattering: you are irreplaceable. This isn't about finding someone who shares similar interests or laughs at the same jokes. This isn't about filling an empty space with just anyone who might fit the basic requirements of companionship. What they're coming to understand runs infinitely deeper than surface compatibility or convenient timing. The connection that exists between you and them transcends the ordinary realm of human relationships. It touches something eternal, something that resonates at the frequency of the soul itself. Your person is beginning to grasp that the void they feel in your absence isn't just emotional loneliness or nostalgic longing. It's architectural. You didn't just occupy a space in their life, you became the very blueprint of that space. Your essence, your energy, your unique way of seeing and responding to the world shaped the contours of their heart in ways that can never be replicated or replaced by another. No one else can fill the space you created because that space was designed by your presence, carved by your love, and blessed by the particular magic that is uniquely yours. The weight of this recognition is almost overwhelming them. Picture your person sitting in the quiet hours when the world grows still, perhaps in the early morning before dawn breaks, or in those contemplative moments just before sleep. They are confronting the full scope of their past actions, and the emotional wounds they projected onto you like shadows cast by their own inner turmoil. During those difficult times, they were consumed by forces they barely understood, fear that felt like a living thing inside their chest, self-doubt that whispered lies about their worthiness, unresolved traumas that had nothing to do with you but everything to do with their own unhealed places. But you, in your grace and love, became the canvas onto which they painted their pain. You absorbed the weight of emotions that belonged to their past, to their wounds, to their unfinished business with themselves and with life. And now, looking back with eyes that have been cleared by distance and reflection, they see this truth with stunning clarity. Their behavior was never a reflection of your value, your beauty, or your worthiness of love. It was a mirror of their own inner chaos, their own struggle to understand and accept themselves. This awareness brings with it a remorse so deep it changes them at the cellular level. They carry the heavy knowledge that their actions may have caused you to question yourself, to doubt the extraordinary light you bring into every space you enter, to wonder if perhaps you were asking for too much or loving too freely. The thought that they might have dimmed your radiance, even for a moment, is almost unbearable to them. What they are finally beginning to comprehend is that your love has never been ordinary or commonplace. Your love is medicine. It reaches into the broken places of a person's spirit and offers healing that goes beyond words, beyond gestures, beyond anything that can be easily explained or quantified. Your love touches people at frequencies that bypass the mind entirely and speak directly to the soul. When someone is truly loved by you, they don't just feel affection, they feel transformed. They become more themselves, more alive, more connected to their own divine essence. The admiration your person holds for you has grown into something approaching reverence. They see not just how you love, but how you exist in the world with such integrity and strength. Despite everything you've endured, despite the confusion and hurt that surrounded your connection, despite moments when it would have been understandable for you to become bitter or vengeful, you chose a different path entirely. You remained kind when kindness seemed foolish. You stayed patient when patience felt impossible. You kept your heart grounded in truth when truth was painful. You never allowed the disappointments or betrayals to corrupt the essential goodness that flows from your core. You didn't permit bitterness to calcify around your heart like protective armor. You refused to let disappointment convince you to abandon your values or compromise your character. When others might have retaliated, you chose restraint. When others might have lashed out in anger, you chose silence. When others might have tried to manipulate the situation to cause pain in return, you chose to rise above the petty games that destroy souls and diminish spirits. This is what sets you apart from the vast majority of people walking this earth. Your loyalty isn't something that fluctuates based on how others treat you. Your love isn't a performance designed to earn approval or maintain control. Everything you offer comes from a place of authentic sincerity, from a deep well of truth that has been purified by your own journey through pain and healing. This kind of genuine love, this unwavering commitment to being who you are regardless of circumstances, is becoming impossible for your person to ignore or take for granted any longer. They are no longer operating purely from logical calculations or practical considerations. Something has shifted in their approach to understanding what matters most in life. They're beginning to listen to the quiet voice of intuition that speaks in feelings rather than thoughts, in knowing rather than reasoning. This inner wisdom is guiding them to examine not just the material realities of existence, but the emotional and spiritual dimensions that give life its deeper meaning and purpose. Their intuition is speaking with increasing clarity and urgency, and every message it delivers points them back toward you like a compass needle finding true north. They're following this inner guidance toward the inevitable conclusion that they must find a way to make things right, not just for your peace and healing, but for the sake of their own soul's evolution and growth. They want to restore justice and balance to what exists between you because they now understand, with devastating clarity, what it means to live without your energy in their daily reality. The absence has become a teacher more powerful than any words could have been. Where your presence once brought light, there is now only a dim recognition of how bright their world used to be. Where your energy once provided comfort and inspiration, there is now an echoing emptiness that nothing else has been able to fill. Your absence has taught them lessons that your presence, in all its beauty and constancy, never could have conveyed. It has revealed the true depth of your value in their life, not as a convenience or entertainment, but as a vital force that made everything else more meaningful, more joyful, more alive with possibility. The silence between you, the distance that once felt like necessary space, the separation that seemed like the mature choice, all of it has become a mirror reflecting back to them just how essential your presence was to their sense of wholeness and purpose. They find themselves missing not just the obvious things like your physical presence, your voice, your laughter, but the subtle ways your energy transformed their entire experience of being alive. They remember now how your energy made them feel safe enough to be vulnerable, seen in ways that went beyond surface recognition, and inspired to grow beyond the limitations they had previously accepted about themselves. They understand now that your love possessed a rare power to reach the hidden chambers of their heart that nothing else could access or awaken. On every level of their being, they experienced transformation in your presence. Emotionally, they felt held and nurtured in ways that allowed their true self to emerge. Spiritually, they felt connected to something larger and more meaningful than their individual concerns. This wasn't simply romantic attachment or physical attraction, though those elements were certainly present. This was about fundamental change, about becoming more fully who they were meant to be through the alchemy of your love. A profound awakening is taking place within them, like someone who has been walking in twilight suddenly stepping into brilliant sunlight. This awakening is leading them inexorably back toward the source of the light they once tried to dim but could never truly extinguish. That source, that bright and steady beacon that has been calling to them through all the confusion and distance, is you. You are the grounding presence they didn't fully appreciate when they had access to it every day. You are the healing energy they took for granted when it flowed freely between you. You are the steady force that helped them navigate the storms of life without even realizing they had been given such a precious gift. They know now that what you offered wasn't casual affection or convenient companionship. It was love rooted in the deepest soil of truth, nurtured by infinite patience, strengthened by unwavering support even when that support wasn't reciprocated or acknowledged. No matter how far they may have wandered from this truth, no matter how long it has taken them to find their way back to this recognition, they are beginning to understand that the kind of love you gave, pure, honest, transformative, and unconditional, is encountered once in a lifetime, if one is fortunate enough to encounter it at all. Now comes the ultimate test of their awakening. All that remains is to discover whether they will rise to meet your love with the same level of truth, courage, and commitment you have always shown. Whether they will find within themselves the strength to match your grace with their own authentic vulnerability, your patience with their genuine effort to heal and grow. Through all the major changes and upheavals in their life lately, through all the moments when everything seems to be moving too fast to comprehend or control, their thoughts return to you like water finding its way to the ocean. They recognize now the pattern that has always existed between you, the dance of connection and separation, the rhythm of coming close and pulling away like waves meeting the shore and retreating to gather strength for the next approach. There has always been this magnetic push and pull between you, something that transcends ordinary attraction and moves into the realm of spiritual recognition. Neither of you has ever been able to completely let go of what exists between you, because what exists is bigger than both of your individual wills or fears. But for the first time in all the cycles of connection and separation, they have experienced what it truly means to exist without you. This isn't just missing someone who isn't around for a few days or weeks. This is feeling the hollow space that gets carved out when someone who was integral to your sense of wholeness is no longer part of your daily reality. They miss you with an intensity that surprises them. They miss you most acutely in those moments when they see evidence that you're thriving without them, that you're building a beautiful life that doesn't require their presence or participation. This thought haunts them more than any other, not because they don't want you to be happy and fulfilled, they absolutely do, but because they're terrified they've forfeited their chance to be part of that happiness, to contribute to that fulfillment, to share in the joy of your continuing evolution. This fear keeps them awake during the quiet hours of the night. They lie there staring into the darkness, caught in endless loops of regret and memory, wondering how they allowed things to deteriorate so far and desperately trying to figure out how they might make it right before it becomes truly too late to repair what was damaged. Their heart feels weighted down by the accumulated mass of everything they should have done differently, all the moments when they should have been more present, more honest, more willing to be vulnerable and open with you. At one point, they convinced themselves that distance might be beneficial, that space would provide clarity and help both of you move forward, whether together or apart. But they understand now how completely wrong they were. This separation, this silence that stretches between you, has become one of the most painful and difficult experiences of their entire life. Every day feels like carrying an invisible burden, like trying to function normally when an essential part of themselves is missing and nothing feels quite right anymore. The joy they once took for granted has faded to a dim memory. The lightness in their heart, the simple comfort that came from knowing you were there, accessible and present in their world, all of that has been replaced by a constant underlying ache that colors everything they do. Music has become both a comfort and a torment because every song seems to carry some connection to you. Every melody awakens a memory, Every lyric serves as a reminder of the beautiful moments you shared together. Whether they're driving in their car, walking through a store, or sitting quietly with their own thoughts, you are there constantly, like a presence that has taken root in their consciousness and refuses to be displaced. You live in their mind 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, occupying the background of everything they see and feel and experience. Through all this constant reflection, one truth has emerged with absolute clarity: you are genuinely one of a kind. Your goodness isn't an act or a strategy. Your honesty isn't calculated or conditional. It's rare to encounter someone who is so direct, so genuine in their intentions and communications. You never sugarcoat reality or pretend to be something you're not for the sake of keeping peace or maintaining illusions. This kind of raw honesty, this commitment to truth even when truth is uncomfortable, is something they deeply admire, even though they didn't always respond to it with the appreciation it deserved.